Welcome back to Beg, Borrow, Steal. I've left assistant Scott and fitness coach Jackie warming up the players before a crunch game with Almeria away tonight. After our last episode, we asked you to predict how many points we might be looking at this season. My goodness, I did not expect you to feedback as negatively as you did. The lowest total we had was getting 20 points during a 38-game campaign. I'll tell you, if we're only getting 20 points this season, we won't make it to the end of this campaign. Today, we're going to bring you up to speed with how we've done in our first 7 fixtures. Okay, feast your eyes on this. This might be a little bit better than I reckon many of you were thinking after 7 games in the season. 20 points for the entire campaign. We've got half of that after 7 games. However, don't let me mislead you. There are some worrying signs. I don't think things are going that well, to be honest. To take account of that, we're going to change our tactic for today's game. But there's no denying 3 wins and a draw out of your first 7 games is not a bad return. We've played one of the top teams, maybe 2 of the top sides. We've also played a Cadiz side that are going very, very well, surprisingly well this season. They've handed us a real beating, which we'll show you in a moment. But check this out, only 3 points behind city rivals Barcelona is an encouraging start to the season. Let's show you our form, and if we jump over to it, you'll see that we've picked up a couple of decent results. In our first episode, we left it late, granted, and we were playing another newly promoted side, but we beat Sporting Gijón. Perhaps the result so far was our next one. We travelled away to Valencia, who've had a tycoon takeover. They're predicted to finish top of La Liga this season. We drew 0-0 with them. We were clinging on. I will be honest, we didn't really create any chances. We didn't have a single shot on target. But a lot of their efforts were from distance, so we rode our luck a little bit, but we did a good job to get a 0-0 draw. In our next game, we were poor. We played at home to Real Betis. At half-time, things looked okay, but in the second half, we just couldn't compete. We tired a little bit. They took advantage. They got a second goal very late on, but they were worthy of the win. So were Atletico in the next game. Again, we were the better side up until half-time. We shaded it, but we couldn't take any of our chances. In the second half, they scored. We chased it a little bit to try and get a point. They scored 2 more goals in the last 10 minutes, and we were suffering back-to-back defeats, but we did well in the next game. We went away, this time to Athletic Bilbao, and we only won 1-0, but we were decent value for this. They came at us a little bit later on, which is why they managed to rack up 10 shots 4 on target, but we were the better side throughout. We had the better XG, and a lot of their efforts came pretty late on in the game when we were just sitting back and trying to soak up pressure. We looked good in that game, far better than we did, by the way. In the next one, it was another encounter where we were trying to go for a point late on in the game, and they made us pay. They scored in the 83rd and the 85th minute. They were playing some pretty decent players, to be honest. I'm not sure how Cadiz have managed to get the money together to be signing this kind of quality, but they have managed to do it. I think they could be a surprise package this season. So 4-1 perhaps was a little bit unfair on us, but look at the match stats. We were not really in this game, and they were clinical and we weren't. So to the Celta game, the most recent game that we've played. And again, up until half-time, not really going that well. We were stuttering. We didn't look like creating. Goal scoring has certainly been a problem for us so far this season, and we were 1-0 down. So we made a change. On about the 60-minute mark, we decided that due to our lack of potency, our inability to create good chances, and us just being unable to score a goal, we went 2 up top. We tweaked the tactic that we've been playing, and we decided to go with a second striker, and it worked. We forced a penalty, and we converted it. And then Aziz, the player we'd bought on to play up alongside Rossi, well, he put us into a 2-1 lead, and then he scored another goal late on as well, and we had a 3-1 lead, which is leading us to believe maybe we're going to do anything in this division. We need to play more than one striker because we've got Rossi with 0 goals in 7 appearances, playing just 1 up top. I'm not sure we've got the firepower to score enough goals to survive, which is why today, for a game against Almeria, I'm thinking about sticking with a second striker. But we do have a problem, and it's this. Our transfer window was pretty much geared around us playing 3 at the back and 2 wide players and a lone striker. We don't have a lot of striking options to play. We could bring in Kevin Carlos, but Kev has been with us since the 3rd tier. He's made 4 appearances so far and has looked like doing absolutely nothing this season. We were banking on Rossi being good enough to play at this level. And given that he'd hit 21 and 24 goals over the last 2 campaigns, I thought he might have 10 or 12 goals in him this season. So far, he's played 7 games. It's not like he's missing chances. He's not been having any, and we've really struggled to create in our opening 7 games. So I like the idea of getting 2 strikers in there, but I don't really want to play a 5-3-2 because our better players, and certainly the good ones we signed during the last transfer window, want to be playing in these advanced wide slots. Cordoba wants to be playing in one of these 2 little roles here, and Jordi Mbula again wants to be playing out wide in an advanced position. Today, I'm going to ask them to tuck back a little bit and play as part of a 4-4-2. To change to a 5-3-2, I think is going to lose some of our better players in the side. I've got a little bit of tactical thinking to do to try and work out how we get some of our better players into the team and still go with 2 up top after today's game. Well, you never know. I might be abandoning ideas of playing 2 up top at all, and I certainly think we looked a lot better in the last game once we changed to that system. Who's played well for us so far? This is going to shock you. Having tried to bring in a keeper during the transfer window and failed, I had huge concerns about going into the campaign with Davide Barossi as our number 1. Brace yourselves, he's been good so far. In fact, he's been a point winner for us so far. He's made strings of excellent saves in games. I don't know, he's averaging above a 7 now. It's like he's just stepped up. Maybe he was so poor during his first season because of struggling to adapt, maybe struggling to learn the language as well. But he certainly looked better in this opening 7 games, and we have needed him because a couple of sides have had some pretty decent chances. Heading back to our fixtures, we have got some tasty ones on the horizon. We've got a little run of games now where I think it's important to pick up some points. Almeria, Alaves, Granada and Getafe, all games where we could do something. But then we've got Sevilla coming up. We've got Real Sociedad coming up. We've got Madrid and Barcelona back-to-back coming up. And then we've got teams like Villarreal on the horizon as well. Some very tough games going. We're going to get out there and play Almeria today. I'm thinking the fixture we're going to come back for in our next episode is going to be Barcelona on Friday. This is what the whole save has been about for me, taking Europa, Barcelona's fierce rivals from the 1910s and the 1920s, and taking them from the 4th division back to the top and going out to face them as equals in the league at the Nou Camp. But that's for another day. Let's go and see what we can do against Almeria first. We've raced 12 minutes into the game and we've not made a great start, have we? Almeria have had that free kick. They've also had another shot on target and they are in again. We've managed to charge that one down, but Almeria are coming at us once more and they've managed to get in on the edge of our box and they have got unlucky. That has just drifted wide, maybe clipped a post on its way through. We're going to pause the game. 25 minutes. We've had absolutely no sniff of a chance. We're going to demand more, but we have upped it to a 4-4-2 to try and be a little bit more aggressive. Not been rewarded at all. But we're into the highlights again. Rossi playing a bit deeper. Aziz is playing as a poacher, trying to be the more advanced of our forwards. Rossi has given the ball away. We've had to win it back. We've thumped it long. Rossi's won his header now. Here is Aziz. He's got a bit of pace. He's given the ball to Rossi. He's not going to run away from defenders at this level. And our ball's gone through and has been collected comfortably by their keeper. Is that as good as we're mustering in this first half? It looks like it might be. We're 5 minutes from half time. I think we're lucky not to be behind on the balance of play. That is a poor half. We're going to go and assess the players. We're going to tell them that that was a weak and tepid performance. We need a better 45 minutes in the second half. We've had some really poor performances in that first half. The strikers are not doing great. Escobar at left back is having a poor game. Both him and our Iraqi left back just seem to alternate between playing well, earning their spot back in the team, and then rewarding us by putting in a really poor performance and getting dropped again. Maybe I just need to pick one and give them a run of games. But we are into the highlights very early on. We can't play too much worse than we did in that first half. Right now, a point is looking like a good return from this game. Can we try and up it? I've tweaked a couple of the roles of the players for the second half. However, they have got in early and we are relying on Barossi to make a pretty routine save. Otherwise, we're looking open again. Look at that XG. It's an absolute horror show. We're not creating anything extra, are we? I've got a bad feeling that we are going to struggle to find a breakthrough in this game, and it's only a matter of time before we concede. Almeria are coming at us again. They've got a bit of space in midfield. We're only playing two in there, and we can't rob the ball back from them. They have got it through just on the edge of our box. They're going to deliver it in. They've got space. They've got time. They've got players over. Don't foul him there. Oh, and Barossi's done it again. He's actually playing an awful lot better. This is his best run of games that he has had for us. And we are pretty grateful that he is looking so solid, because otherwise, I don't think we'd have as many points as we do. I don't think we can leave it too much longer before we're going to have to make some changes, because we are just not matching up well today. We're finally in their box. Cordoba has a go. We've had an effort of note. It's taken us 55 minutes. Finally, we've done something. Can we perhaps threaten from the corner? We've slung it in. Spearings is up. Okay, at least we've had a couple of efforts now. We'll give it another few minutes. See whether we need to make some changes. Maybe on 65, we might pull the trigger on some. We're pretty much at that stage now. We're going to throw out a shout. Let's encourage them. At least they've rallied a little bit. And we're going to have a look at how we can maybe tweak the shape and the personnel for this last 25 minutes. Okay, this will undoubtedly anger the comments section. I've tweaked the shape a little bit. Rather than a 4-4-2, we're going to push a wide player up and pull one of the strikers back. The player we're going to bring on is Landa, primarily because maybe winning a set piece and scoring from a corner might be our best chance of a breakthrough. We're going to bring Cordoba from the wide position to play as a shadow striker. And then we've got Rossi to sort out. I think we're going to have him as a pressing forward on attack. The other player that we're looking to take off pretty soon could well be Jordi Umbula. He has not played well. Don't have a natural replacement for him. We might need to fashion something as we go. Let's see if we can get a breakthrough in this final 25 minutes. We've had 3 shots, just 1 on target, 20 minutes to go. We've looked a little bit flat. This would push us up onto 11 points. It's not like we've played well today. I think I've got some tactical thinking to do. With that in mind, we've got 12 minutes left to go. What kind of changes could we make? Maybe we could bring Kevin Carlos on for Umbula. Has Umbula picked up at all? He hasn't. He's on a 6.3. Maybe we could try and give a little bit more support for Rossi by asking Kev to come in as, shall we say, an inside forward, and Landa just to be an advanced playmaker. I don't think we want 2 playmakers on top of each other. So let's say he'll be a deep line playmaker there. And has Escobar picked up at all? He's on a 6.5. I think Ishmael could be our other change. 12 minutes to go. Right now, I guess I'll take a point because we've looked so poor. But if we could sneak a late winner, we will have had a very successful first 8 games of this season. We're on the ball. Landa. Nobody wants Landa on the pitch from the comment section. None of you rate him. I think he's the difference maker. And there is Rossi. You've got to say that's a good chance. He's taking that chance in the division below. Is he up against much better goalkeepers now? Is that the difference? Or is he in a bit of a bad run of form? He's in a bit of a slump. There's the corner that we brought Landa on for. Didn't fashion a chance for us, but at least we're threatening a little bit. Kevin Carlos has got himself offside. And with 10 minutes to go, we need to try and find a little bit more. We're going to shout demand more for one last time. 7 minutes to go. We've got a highlight. We've won the header. Here is Landa. Is he going to show us that Rolls-Royce ability? Look at him crafting a ball out to Cordoba. And he's going to be able to get the ball into the box, is he? I think he is. We won something there. Are they having a look or something? Is it just a free kick? Have we won a penalty? They've had a man sent off. I didn't see anything menacing there. I think it must just have been a free kick. What an odd little highlights package that was. And now is it us that's given the penalty away? They've just gone down to 10 men for an offence that I couldn't see. And now have we pushed over one of their players in the box? Oh, we have. Now we're going to see what Barosi's all about. He never gets anywhere near a penalty. And Isco is going to try and win the game late on for Almeria, even though they've only got 10 men now. And he has thumped it past Barosi. Who has given that penalty away? I didn't see it. Whoever it is an absolute clown of the highest order, because they have just cost us. Okay, we have got, 2 minutes plus a bit of stoppage time. It's kitchen sink time. Okay, we've thrown 3 forwards up there. We've got an AM in behind them. We've only got 2 at the back and some wing backs. This is desperation times. Can Landa weave another little piece of magic? The old warhorse. He slings in a corner. And we can't get anywhere near it. That can't be the highlight. There's got to be another chance on the end of this. Landa is just hanging out over on the left wing, ready to wreak havoc. It's Cordoba. He could have pulled the trigger on that one. Rosa has a go. We've won the ball back. It was Landa fighting for the cause. And none of his teammates could get on the end of it. We've got just under a minute. We need to win the ball back, and we need to win it quick. And try and force one last effort on goal. This has been a poor afternoon's work from the boys, I have to be honest. And the tactical thinking goes on. Maybe you should be giving us your advice down in the comments. Have I quite rashly switched away from playing 1 striker and 3 at the back? Do we need to return to that system? Although you hadn't been watching the games, we were looking a little bit ropey playing it. Do I need to bite the bullet and go to a 5-3-2? Have you got another tactical formation that you think might suit the players that we've got? Because let's be honest, the 4-4-2 has not looked good today. We've got unlucky losing out to a penalty that I couldn't quite see who'd committed the foul. But we've played really poorly. 6 shots, 2 on target. Their XG's bumped up by the penalty, but we didn't deserve anything out of the game. And we'll thrash our arms. We'll tell them that's not good enough. And it's a worrying sign, because I said we've got some games coming up where we could get points. If we don't get any points from these games, well, we're bringing you back for a match against Barcelona. We know that's only going to end one way. It's just how badly will the defeat be? We've got some thinking to do. Let us know down in the comments tactically how you would play it. We're going to go and try and battle for a couple more wins, because when we come back, we're going to be coming back for a big old game in Big Boris Steel.